We're good. Okay, so 7 p.m. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Are there any conflicts of interest? And I just want to make sure everyone can hear us. Kathy, you can hear me? Kathy, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. No problem. And Rod, you can hear us, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So no conflicts of interest or no delegations. So we have a public meeting for an application for consent, public hearing application for consent to create one new lot to be developed for residential purposes. So to go into that meeting, Fred, will you give me a first on that?
Yes.
And Rod a second?
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Fred, seconded by Rod, that the council meeting be temporarily adjourned at 7:01 p.m. for the purpose of a public meeting. Kathy in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
And myself say yes, that's carried. And to start the public meeting, Kathy, will you first that?
Yes.
Thank you. Fred, second.
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Kathy, seconded by Fred. Be it resolved that pursuant to Section 53 of the Planning Act, RSO 1990, the public meeting is now officially open for the purpose of hearing comments regarding the following application. Consent application file number B01-21 Charbonneau. Kathy, are you in favor of that?
Yes, I am.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
And myself, so yes, that's carried. Are there any concerns, council, with this application?
No, I don't have any problem with it.
No, I think it's great that we're developing potentially another residence. Now, there was one thing that we did want to discuss. Typically with a division of this size, there would be a 5%, what would it be called, a residual fee, or in lieu of parklands, cash in lieu of parkland, representing 5% of the value. Now, in the past, we have just recently waived that with the ALPG. We've also done it with valet. I'm fine not charging that. And I don't believe that we have any time in the recent past. I just wanted councils, because we can strike that from the document this evening and just initial it if you guys are okay with that. Fred, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, that works for me. It looks all good, and yeah, as long as the conditions are met, looks good to me.
Perfect. Rod, your thoughts?
I'm good with it.
Okay, thank you. And Kathy?
Yes, it sounds good to me.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and strike that, and Belinda and I will initial it. And there were no comments, Belinda, from the public at all that we received in favor or against?
There was just one little concern with, there was 2 buildings that do not belong to the owner that are encroaching on the property line. Unfortunately, in this process, we can't address it, but in the future, if the new owner, the new potential owner is aware of it, you can go forward to move the lot line. But right now everyone's okay with it, so there's no issues with it.
Perfect. Thank you, Belinda. I don't think there's anything else there. We will have to get signatures on it. We're just looking into the how that obviously with Zoom, we can't everyone do a signature. So we are discussing that. I know, Frederick, you can do the electronic. I can sign it. I'm sure we can get it to Kathy as well. So I believe that we're going to be fine just with this motion, but Belinda is looking further into it for us. Okay, so now we're going to go back out. Well, actually, there's a couple motions here. First, Fred, this is just that that we agree to the decision
Yeah.
document.
Yeah.
So can I get a first on that?
Yeah.
Kathy, second.
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Fred, seconded by Kathy. We have resolved that having been satisfied that the notices were given in accordance with the Planning Act, and further that after due consideration of the application presented, council hereby concludes that no further notice be given with respect to the proposed consent application for the following property. Consent application file number B01-21 Charbonneau, and council hereby grants the provincial consent subject to the outlined conditions in the notice of decision document. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Fred?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, that's carried.
Somehow the resolution to come out.
Okay, we're just printing out another quick resolution, just be a minute, guys. Just to close the public meeting, Rod, will you first that?
Yes.
Thank you. Kathy, second.
Yes.
You moved by Kathy, moved by Rod, seconded by Kathy. The public meeting is now officially closed at 7:06 p.m. and the regular council meeting is now reconvened. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
You and myself is a yes, that's carried. Okay, moving on to item 5, discussions arising from previous council minutes. Frederick, did you have anything on that?
Nope.
Okay, Rod, yourself?
No.
Kathy?
No, I'm good.
So to accept those minutes, Kathy, will you first that?
Yes.
Fred, second?
Yeah.
Two. Moved by Kathy, seconded by Frederick, that the following council minutes be accepted as presented. Regular council minutes, April 12th, 2021. In favor, Kath?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
And myself is a yes, that's carried. Yeah, so the closed session meeting minutes we'll do when we're in camera, Belinda, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes. And then we'll pass them when we come out. So we're going to move on to minutes and reports. Item 7A, La Cloche Foothills Municipal Association unapproved minutes, April 12th, 2021. To accept those minutes, Fred, will you first?
Yes.
Kathy, second.
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Fred, seconded by Kathy. The following minutes and reports are accepted as presented. La Cloche Foothills Municipal Association minutes, April 12th, 2021. Excuse me, Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, that's carried. And now the following. Excuse me. Item 7B, Township of Nairn and Hyman Community Parks and Recreation Committee minutes. C, Township of Nairn and Hyman, January 2021 bank reconciliation. D, Township of Nairn and Hyman 2020 year-end summary and financial report. E, Township of Nairn and Hyman CAO's report regarding 2021-016 regarding review of employee council remuneration. F, Township of Nairn and Hyman CAO's report number 2021-017 regarding tax arrears during the COVID-19 pandemic. G, Township of Nairn and Hyman CAO's report number 2021-018 regarding new loan application to Ontario Infrastructure and Lands Corporation. H, Township of Nairn and Hyman CAO's report number 2021-019 regarding request for exemption from provisions of section 2 of bylaw number 94-30. I, Township of Nairn and Hyman Municipal Superintendent's report, May 4th, 2021, and J, Township of Nairn and Hyman Fire Chief's report, May 4th, 2021. We'll just have a motion here to note those as received, and then we have some corresponding motions after that. So Rod, will you first this?
Yes.
Thank you. Kathy, second.
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Kathy, moved by Rod, seconded by Kathy. The following minutes and reports, 7B to J, are noted as received. Township of Nairn and Hyman Community Parks and Recreation Committee minutes, April 20th, 21. Township of Nairn and Hyman, January 2021 bank reconciliation. Township of Nairn and Hyman 2020 year-end summary and financial report. Township of Nairn and Hyman CAO's report number 2021-016 regarding review of employee council remuneration. F, Township of Nairn and Hyman CEO's report number 2021-017 regarding tax arrears during the COVID-19 pandemic. G, Township of Nairn and Hyman CEO's report number 2021-018 regarding new application to Ontario Infrastructure and Lands Corporation. H, Township of Nairn and Hyman CEO's report number 2021-019 regarding request for exemption from the provisions of section 2 of bylaw number 94-30. I, Township of Nairn and Hyman Municipal Superintendent's Report, May 4th, 2021. And J, Township of Nairn and Hyman Fire Chief's Report, May 4th, 2021. Kathy, in favor?
yes,
Frederick?
Yes.
You, Rod?
Yes.
You, and myself, say yes, that's carried. So this is on the resignation for the Parks and Rec Committee. Rod, will you first that?
Yes.
And Fred second?
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Rod, seconded by Frederick. Resolved, the council notes the Township of Nairn and Hyman Community Parks and Recreation Committee Resolution 2021 Rec-18, accepting with regrets the resignation of Catherine Burry from the Recreation Committee. And further, council thanks Councillor Burry for her time and effort put forth in assisting with all the Recreation Committee events. Kathy, in favor?
yes,
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Myself, say yes. That's carried. Were there any questions on the CAO's report? That was 2021-016, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah,
On
go
her
ahead, Rob.
report there, oh yeah, on her report there, I would like to see the townships that, that she put down in the report, how the other townships so much further ahead of us in wages. I would like to know those towns and what their wages are
Yeah, and
before I
she
make
will.
a decision.
That will be presented.
Yeah, she will be presenting that at the next council meeting to try and bring that up. This is basically what we typically do with the COLA increase each year. It's so low this year, and things are obviously kind of out of sorts with COVID. This is simply the 2% increase. So she will be. Yeah, she will be preparing another report where we can discuss actual salaries and where we sit in line with the other municipalities.
Okay, thank you.
We're probably meeting after next, yeah. So Fred, will you okay firsting that?
Yep.
Kathy second.
yes,
Moved by Frederick, seconded by Kathy. The report 2021-016 dated May 3rd, 2021 be received for information. And whereas historically the employees of the Township of Nairn and Hyman receive wage increases based on the cost of living allowance, and whereas over the last 5 years the increase has been between 1.5 and 2.2. Whereas the national salary increases across all areas have amounted 3 to 5% per year over the past 5 years, whereas the COLA percentage for 2021 is only a 0.7% increase. Therefore, be it resolved that Council of the Township of Nairn and Hyman does hereby approve a salary wage increase across all wage categories of 2%, including council remuneration, retroactive to January 1st, 2021. Kathy, in favor?
yes,
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Thank you, and I'm a yes, that's carried. Mhm. So the next one is about the tax arrears. Can I get a first on that one, Fred?
Yep.
Rod, a second?
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Frederick, seconded by. Oh, yeah. What up for discussion is how many months do you think? Because we've left that blank in the motion right now. So how it reads is council agrees with the recommendation to send out notices to landowners with arrears of plus years, advising them of their tax arrears situation once the lockdown ends, allowing them, and then we've left that blank, months to make payments. Fred, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, my first thought is, what are the state of the properties that are in arrears? If they're already abandoned, then that's, you know, obviously we're probably not going to get payments on those. But if there is people living in them, if it is a residency, I would definitely be more lenient. But yeah, that's kind of where my head's at.
Thank you. Kathy, your thoughts?
It's so hard to know a timeline because of this COVID, like so many people out of work, and when are they going back to work? And so I don't know. What would you think? Is it 6 months, 12 months, 18 months to catch up? Because they still have to pay their current.
No, for sure. And I think that the point was made that the longer we push this on, the more difficult it's going to be for these properties to get caught up again.
Exactly.
And just as a note, and Rod, I'll get to you in a second, the CAO does have the authority to enter into a tax agreement, and I think we can look at that on a per person or a per case basis. So, and Belinda and I had discussed this. So obviously, if someone has been out of work and can prove they've been out of work because of COVID-19, I think they should receive a little more leniency, and she agrees. So I think we can deal with that on a case-by-case basis when that time comes. So the abandoned properties, yeah, I think we should shorten this to, my thought is 3 months, so that we can start the tax registration process on those abandoned properties, like Frederick said. And then, as mentioned, on a case-by-case basis, Belinda would be free to negotiate extensions for them. Rod, what are your thoughts on that?
I agree with both you and Frederick and Kathy. There, we got to be a little bit lenient on them. But
sure.
I mean, like you said, like Kathy said, that if they've been doing this for years, we shouldn't be helping them out. But the ones that are working, out of work and that, I would definitely help them out.
Yeah, good. Okay.
So
are
I
we
agree
okay?
with you.
Oh, sorry, Rod, go ahead.
No, I just said I agree with you and Frederick there. Okay.
So I think if we go with the 3 month, if everyone's okay with that, then we can start acting a little faster on some of these abandoned properties. If everyone's okay with the 3 months, Brett, are you good with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Kathy, yourself as well?
Yes.
Okay, Rod, yourself?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna just write in the 3 months then. Okay, so I can go ahead and read the motion now. So moved by Fred, seconded by Rod. Resolved that CAO's report 2021-017 dated May 3rd, 2021 be received for information. And the council agrees with the recommendation to send out notices to landowners with arrears of 2+ years, advising them of their tax arrears situation once the lockdown ends, allowing them 3 months to make payments. And further, at the end of this time period, a report outlining properties that at that time have 2+ years of arrears would be presented to council to begin the registration of the tax arrears situation. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
You, Rod?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, that's carried. Okay, so the next one is on, and if anyone has any questions on this, I know it sounds a little confusing. Basically, what we're doing or hoping to do is we would consider a line of credit, because moving forward, we have to pay contractors ahead of time, and then we get reimbursed by the province and the federal government. But we don't have $3.X amount of $1 million, $3.5 million in the bank. So we need a line of credit. That's what this is all about. The interest rate is extremely low and won't be a good or a huge cost to us for the duration of the project. So Frank, can I get a first on that?
Yep.
Rod, second.
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Fred, seconded by Rod. Resolved that CEO's report 2021-018 dated May 4th be received for information, and that a draft bylaw being a bylaw to authorize certain new capital works of the corporation of the Township of Nairn, Hyman, to authorize the submission of an application to Ontario Infrastructure and Lands Corporation for financing of such new capital works and of certain other ongoing capital works, to authorize temporary borrowing from OILC to meet expenditures in connection with all of such capital works, and to authorize long-term, through the issues of debentures to OILC attached as Appendix A to Council Report 2021-18. Presented to Council on May 10th, 2021, and given all three readings to expedite the release of funds by OILC. And further, the Council authorizes the Mayor and the Treasurer to negotiate, and the Mayor and the Treasurer to enter into, execute, and deliver for and on behalf of the municipality a financing agreement with Ontario Infrastructure and Lands Corporation that provides for the temporary borrowing in the amount of $3,576,337 from OILC in respect of certain ongoing work. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
You and myself, so yes, that is carried.
We don't have a motion for it, it's just information. Correspondence.
Okay, so this was,
That's fine.
okay, so under correspondences 8A, on this request, we don't have a motion.
No,
No.
it's just for information.
Okay. I personally think if we do this once in this one situation, that we're opening up a can of worms that we may not be able to back out of. I don't see that there should be an exemption to this, but we wanted to get council's opinions on that. Frederick, yourself, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, like you said. Yeah, that it's a tough one. I'm not sure. Yeah, if we do allow it, then it could, waterfall into a lot of different things.
Kathy, your thoughts? Thanks, Fred.
I am totally against them being exempt from getting town water. We all agreed to bring the water here, and we all agreed to pay for it. If you want to move to town, the water is part and parcel. So I'm sorry, unless it was some medical reason or something, perhaps, but no, they need to get the water.
Perfect. Thank you. Rod, your thoughts?
I agree. Follow the bylaw.
Yep. And then that's exactly what I was thinking too.
Did you want to pass that now? Or
We can, where were you thinking of?
it's here.
Now, they don't have to hook up to the water if they don't want to, but they got to pay.
Okay, restricted
Yeah, do you
scheduling.
want to deal with that one? Or?
No, we can, I think we're gonna do it now.
Okay.
Can we get a first on that? We're gonna move this motion now that, as to what we just talked about.
Yep.
Kathy, will you second?
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Fred, seconded by Kathy. Council has reviewed the request from Andy Martell regarding the exemption from the provisions of Section 2 of bylaw number 94-30 for the property located at 42 McDonald. And therefore be it resolved that council does not agree to grant the exemption and the landowner must hook up to the Nairn Water Works. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
I'm a yes, that's carried. Thank you. Okay, the next one, letter from Bonnie Bataya regarding April 12th, 2021 council meeting. Anyone have any comments on that?
Yes, I was just trying to get it on my computer there. Yes, I kind of agree with her. Sorry, partly because I was a little upset when she was on there myself, and I know she corrected me a couple of times, and I thought that wasn't her job, that was your job. And one time you were correcting me, and she interrupt you and give us her side of it. Eh? But no, I don't think she should have been at the meeting unless she was on the agenda, because our taxpayers, they got to follow the rules. And I think that, Mr. Chair, you should have followed the rules and kept to your end of the deal. You said this, you don't accept nobody from town unless they're on the agenda. So I don't think that was right, but it was done. So.
Thanks, Rod. And I will clarify that. I just want to get your opinions on it first. Fred, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that it wasn't on the agenda as well, but I assume there's an explanation for it.
And Kathy, your thoughts?
I'm good. I have nothing to say.
Okay, so just as a bit of an explanation, we have had situations like this before where we have invited other members and they have not presented as a delegation. And E4M and Peggy Young Lovelace attended our meeting as a representative of the Integrity Commissioner, as we all know. As such, she is a statutory officer of the municipality and may attend meetings to answer questions. It does not have to be listed as a delegation. So as far as the letter, we do have, I believe, what a response to that? No. Okay, we'll just note it as received then.
I think you should get an explanation of why you to get a response from the town.
Should we, are you suggesting, Rod, maybe we have the CAO respond?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, Fred, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would feel better if they got a response. The resident did ask a lot of questions, and I think an answer is granted.
Okay, and Kathy, your thoughts?
I'll agree with my co-counselor.
Okay, so we do have a resolution for that. So moved by Fred, or sorry, will you first that, Fred?
Yes.
Thank you. Rod, second?
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Fred, seconded by Rod. Whereas correspondence has been received from Bonnie Bataya regarding the council meeting April 12th, 2021, be it resolved, the council directs the CAO to prepare a response to the residents' concern. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
You, Rod?
Yes.
You? I'm a yes, that's carried. Hey, Jeanette Bear regarding abandoned property on Hall Street, April 12th, 2021. I think she raised some legitimate concerns on that. And I was speaking with our CAO about this today. I think that this is a situation that we've had to deal with before with the same property. And I'm kind of leaning towards Jeanette's request that we can send Public Works in to do this. It was brought up when we had that discussion that are we setting a precedent? I suggested that it just be on a complaint basis, and the council makes a decision each time with each individual situation. But I wanted to know what council thought of that.
Yeah, I got a concern with it myself. I don't even live there, and I think it's a house there that I don't know who owns it. Why don't we put it up for sale? And if we don't sell it, we'll take it over and tear it down and clean the lot up, because it's a health issue. It's a fire issue. It's all kinds of things there. Department of Health, there's pigeons in there, I understand. And there could be rats. There could be anything in that, and long grass and in the house. I think we should clean it up one way or the other. And I would like to get a full report about it. Who owns it and why we aren't working on our bylaws and, bringing it to the head. Sooner or later, somebody's got to clean that lot up. I don't know investors owns it or who owns it right now. Who's paying? Nobody's paying taxes on it. So we should be cleaning this mess up right totally. And then the neighbors around there, I wouldn't want to live near there. You know, and I don't even like to see it in town, that building like that, just sitting there rotting and doing nothing. And the lot could be, it's a beautiful lot there. If we tore it down, and I know it's a big expense for the taxpayers, but we got to clean the town up one way or the other, and have something like that health issue and fire issue and everything else around these homes. I think we should be looking into selling it one way or the other.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm going to have Belinda, sorry, Ron, I'm going to have Belinda speak to that in a minute. I think we are, as you know, bound by laws that we have to go through processes to make that kind of thing happen. What I am agreeing with is that we have our public works staff go in and do a lot of the cleanup that she is requesting. And then we have to go about this, as you know, from previous properties in the past, and we can't discuss that too much in open meeting right now. But again, those processes we are looking at completing.
Okay, that'd be fine. You know, as long as we look at it, and you know, someday down the road we got to come to a conclusion. I don't.
Sure.
We got to follow the legal system, but I mean, we should be working on it as much as we can to get it settled.
Yeah, agreed. Fred?
Yeah, I was thinking this is if we clean it up now, it's a short-term fix, but I would definitely want to look into a long-term fix for this for many reasons.
Yeah, good. Kathy?
I agree with my co-counsel. Again, I would like to see that cleaned up for sure. I was going to do it as a personal thing just because it needs to be done, and I don't know what the laws are there, but yeah, if we could get the town to do that, that would be great.
I think we're all kind of on the same page there, and just things are in the work, so everyone knows, and we all know how time consuming that could be. So this motion reads that we are going to direct the CAO to direct public works staff to go in and do some cleanup on that property. So Fred, will you first that motion?
Yes.
Thanks, Rod. Second.
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Frederick, seconded by Rod. Whereas correspondence from Janetti Bear has been received regarding the state of disrepair of the abandoned property located at 15 Hall Street. Therefore, council directs the CAO to direct the public works staff, cut the grass, clean up the property, and place fees for the work performed on the municipal tax roll for that property. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, that's carried. Okay, item 8D, H&M COFI regarding update 2021, April 19th, 2021. Kathy, will you give us a first on this motion?
Yes.
And Rod, a second?
Yes.
Moved by Kathy, seconded by Rod. Correspondence has been received from the Huron Shore, Manitoulin Island community-owned fiber infrastructure, requesting letters of support and permission to display municipalities' logos on their website. Whereas the township has sent a letter of support for the project on June 9th, 2020, be it resolved that council grants permission for H&M COFI to display the township's logo on the website for this project. Kath, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
You, Rod?
Yes.
I'm a yes, that's carried. Okay, so the next one is just noting, under correspondences, we do have David King with Lush Foothills Municipal Association regarding police service board discussion, and r7@hotmail.com, Old Nairn Road, May 5th, 2021. Okay, yeah, so there is, we're going to ask the CEO to respond to the conditions of Old Nairn Road, and I believe that resident is going to be happy, very happy with it the next couple of years to see what's ongoing. So, Fred, will you first that?
Yes.
Kathy, second?
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Fred, second by Kathy. Council directs the CAO to respond to the resident concerned with the conditions of Old Nairn Road and give updates regarding the planned updates of that road. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
And myself say yes, that's carried. This next motion is just to note correspondences as received. Rod, will you first that?
Yes.
You, Kathy, second.
Yes.
Perfect. Moved by Rod, seconded by Kathy. The correspondence is 8A to F be noted as received. Kathy in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Self say yes, that's carried. Just to support. Number 9A, City of Cambridge Council regarding request for paid sick leave. Fred, will you give us a first?
Yep.
Thanks, Kathy, second.
Yes.
Moved by Fred, seconded by Kathy, that be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Nairn and Hyman is in favor with the proposed model for the OPP Police Service Board for the municipal. So we had missed this one. Yeah, sorry, guys. We can still run this. You have noted them as received, right?
Yes.
So the Police Services Board, yeah, we had one out of order here. So this is just about the structure of the Police Services Board. So Fred, are you still okay to first that?
Yeah.
Kathy?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. So moved by Fred, seconded by Kathy. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Nairn and Hyman is in favor with the proposed model for the OPP Police Service Board or the municipalities and groups identified with the La Cloche Foothills Municipal Association. And the council agrees with the recommendation that the town of Espanola will submit the proposal to the OPP for the group. Kathy in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
And myself say yes. It's carried. We're going to sporting motions. So item 9A, City of Cambridge, Council regarding request for paid sick leave. Fred, will you first that?
Yes.
Thanks, Rod, second.
Yes.
Thanks. Moved by Fred, seconded by Rod, the Corporation of the Township of Nairn and Hyman endorses and supports the resolution of the City of Cambridge urging the Premier to require Ontario employers to provide no less than 5 paid sick days annually to workers after 3 months of employment by amending the Employment Standards Act or through a different mechanism to ensure that all Ontario workers have access to protected and paid emergency leave. Further, that a copy of this motion be sent to the Premier, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, the Provincial Minister of Labour, and the City of Cambridge. Kathy in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Yes, that's carried. Another resolution for
Yeah.
supporting.
It's probably stuff in ours. Want to just come back to it next month?
I'd like to see this passed tonight, just because of, yeah. So we're just going to write up a resolution here that didn't seem to print out, but I think we should be acting on this now. Some of these restrictions are a little outlandish, in my opinion. Okay. So Kathy, will you give us a first on this? We have the motion now.
Yes.
Thanks. Rod, a second.
Yes.
Moved by Kathy, seconded by Rod. Resolved that the Corporation of Township of Nairn and Hyman endorse and supports the resolution of the city of Brantford requesting that the prohibition on golfing and any outdoor sports that can be enjoyed while maintaining proper social distancing. And further, a copy of this motion be sent to the Premier, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, and the city of Brantford. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
I'm a yes, that's carried. And moving on to bylaws, we have discussed this already. So bylaw number 2021-13, a bylaw to authorize certain new capital works of the Corporation of Township of Nairn and Hyman to authorize the submission of an application to Ontario Infrastructure and Lands Corporation for financing of such new capital work and of other ongoing capital work to authorize temporary borrowing from OILC to meet expenditures in connection with all of such capital work and to authorize long-term borrowing for all of such capital work through the issue of debentures to OILC. Fred, will you first this motion?
Yep.
The bylaw. Thank you. Kathy, second.
Yes.
Moved by Fred, seconded by Kathy, that a bylaw to authorize certain new capital work of the Corporation of the Township of Nairn and Hyman to authorize the submission of an application to Ontario Infrastructure and Lands Corporation for financing of such new capital work and of certain other ongoing capital work to authorize temporary borrowing from OILC to meet expenditures in connection with all such capital work and to authorize long-term borrowing for all of such capital work through the issues of debentures to OILC be read a first, second, and third time, passed in open council. Its number shall be 2021-13. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, that's carried. Okay, item 11A, valet regarding Nairn Falls redevelopment project update and conclusion of Class EA process, April 9th. We just have a motion to note that as received. Rod, will you first that?
Yes.
Thank you. Kathy, second.
Yes.
Moved by Rod, seconded by Kathy. Be it resolved that for information only, item 11A be noted as received. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
I'm a yes, that's carried. Okay, item 12. I'm kind of proud at the outcome of this budget, but obviously everything needs to be up for discussion. If passed, next week, we are looking at almost a 1% decrease in the residential taxes. Now I'm going to go one person at a time. Fred, if you have any comments on the draft budget, would you put them forward now?
Yeah, no, it looks all pretty straightforward to me. I know that we are planning. It's very difficult right now with the restrictions, but if restrictions were to lift or were to change, I know the Recreation Committee is quite excited to possibly get some safe events and some different things on the way. So yeah, that's exciting on the recreation front, and it's already good to see some projects that are being improved. Other than that, looks pretty straightforward. If I have any more comments, I will make them. I'll make them next meeting.
Next budget meeting, yes, and after our auditors have presented too, I think, again, this is just the draft budget. I did, if you notice, we did kind of take out the Christmas party. I had suggested that if by some miracle that's allowed to happen, Rec does have a fair amount of money in reserves and we could always pass a resolution.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay.
Okay, Kathy, your thoughts?
No, it all looks really good to me. My one thing, and I apologize to everyone ahead of time here, but is there any way that we could get the budget like this on paper, even just mailed to us or something? It's sideways on the computer. It's hard to look at. So it's just really hard to follow it all.
Linda, are you okay with that?
I agree with Kathy.
I,
If you,
yeah, sorry, go ahead, Fred.
if you right click, it says rotate clockwise and you hit that 3 times and it'll be upright like you're looking at it normally instead of on the side.
What's that again, Frederick?
If you go on your mouse and you hit the right side of your mouse, it'll say it on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th one down. It'll say rotate clockwise.
I don't have a mouse. Does that matter?
Or the right side of your pad on the front.
Okay, I'm gonna do it now. Try it.
It'll say
let's try
rotate
it out.
clockwise.
Let's
Yeah,
make sure it's
rotate
working.
here.
And
And
so
what do you want me to press? What do you say press?
rotate
I got the-
clockwise, and then it'll say it'll switch the direction of it. So you hit it 3 times, and it'll be it'll be normal mode.
Okay, I'll try. I haven't got the right thing here. I'll try it there after the meeting there.
So yeah, when you click your budget, you can just go on any page of the document and click the clockwise 3 times, and it should be upright like you're reading it on paper.
Oh, okay, good. I'll try that because same with Kathy. And then you can't get it all on one page. You got to make it smaller. Then I can hardly read it. Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Frederick. It worked for me. It's all the right way now.
Perfect.
Great.
Appreciate that.
Rod, if you're still having issues with it when you try later on, maybe give Fred a call, and I'm sure he will take the time to walk you through it.
There, I will.
Perfect.
Because that was one of my complaints right off the bat too. Kathy stole it from me. Now, okay, I'll wait my turn.
I think Kathy was done. Did you have anything else, Kath?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, so Rod, go ahead. Your comments.
Yeah, my thought is I didn't have time to really study it, but there's one thing that caught my eye here: Integrity Commissioner fee. Now, we were supposed to get I thought we were going to get an invoice, itemized list of what it's cost us. Now on here it shows in 2020, $19,865. Is that the total of everything?
That's, sorry.
Go ahead, Glenda. Would you address that, please? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that is the total. When you see Integrity Commissioner, that is the total for E4M and the investigative services. And there were some legal fees that are included in the legal line as well.
Okay, I know in the legal thing it was $4,000 there, and now so we're roughly on $25,000. Now we're all done paying them, other than the $4,000 for the other thing we dealt with. Is that right?
Belinda, could you address that?
I believe there's going to be a 6-month review, and I believe there will be some fees. I don't know for sure. That's something I can definitely look into and let everyone know.
And the 6-month review, when is that going to take place?
Well, we were hoping to do it by now because we're at about that time. So we are trying to negotiate that for another committee meeting. We had agreed to meet at the 6 months, but with the stay-at-home order in place, it's become a little more difficult to do that. So we're hoping sometime within the next month and a half.
Okay, now this 19,000 and that 4,000 for the lawyer's fee there. Now Peggy working on the committee, is that concludes that too? Like she takes minutes, say, of the meeting of the investigation meeting.
Yeah, no, she would have to do that with the 6-month review as well. That's what we're speaking to.
Okay, so far as I'm concerned now, it's paid for until the 6-month review.
Yes.
Because I find it awful strange that it was so low, because other communities there were thousands and thousands of dollars. So I just find it strange that it's so low. I can't understand it. I went down to other communities and there's 80,000, 100,000,
Sure.
and ours is, and we got we have 2 employees investigated. I'm sure I'm happy about it, but I don't look right to me. I thought something might have been wrong, error or something someplace along the line. But it'd be nice if we would get an invoice with detailed instruction how they got paid. I would like to see that if it's possible. I think it should be possible. I think we deserve that. if I'll leave it up to you guys to think about it.
You can request that information from the CAO. Do we need a motion here now, Belinda, or
Uh,
an email?
I can send it to you in an email, Rod.
I have a hard time hearing that, Belinda.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Thank you, Your Worship. Rod, I can send that information to you in an email. I can give you the breakdown of costs, but if you need to see the actual invoices, that have to be through either a Freedom of Information request or a motion put forward through council.
Okay, well, send me what you can and email them, and I'll look at it.
Sure,
Hopefully
no
I can find it
problem.
in the email. I have go ahead.
I apologize for cutting you off. Would everyone like a copy of that email?
I don't need it. I've been part of the situation from the beginning, so I'm fine with the numbers that I've seen.
Yeah, sure. I would like to take a look. Yeah, that would be great.
I'd be interested in it as well.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks. No problem. I'll be happy to do that for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Rod, anything else on the budget that you'd like to speak to?
Like I said, I didn't have time to go over it. The next week there, I'll have more time there, and I'll study a little bit more.
Perfect. All right, so we can actually go into closed session now to discuss items 13A and B. We have a motion here to do that, I believe. Thank you. Fred, will you first that motion?
Yes.
Thank you. Rod, second.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, moved by Fred, seconded by Rod. Be resolved that council move into closed session at 7:51 for the purpose stated in section 239.2 of the Municipal Act, neighbor relations, and a plan or instruction to be applied to negotiations. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
So if it's a yes, that is carried. So we're just going to give Belinda a minute here to turn off the recording.